Aloha everyone, welcome to Kaleo o Kalihi radio edition for this month of, what month are we in? June. Kind of getting lost, I caught a cold this week, so radio voice might not be on too good today. And if you hear the throat clearing, that's not my guest. Today I'm going solo here. My co-host, my brother Paul, conveniently let me know that he has a wedding this afternoon, so I'm going to be running it solo along with my two guests for the first time on our 5th episode of Kaleo o Kalihi Radio here on AM 760 KGU. We have the Walthalls, Cheryl and Justin. Welcome to Kaleo o Kalihi.
Thank you.
This dynamic duo, quite enterprising. Cheryl is project director.
Project manager.
Project manager at PRP. What is PRP?
Pacific Resource Partnership.
Okay, and her husband is actually my brother's classmate from Iolani, and he is now a baker.
Well, I own Great Harvest Bread Company of Kahala. I don't know if you consider me a baker so much.
I suppose that would make you a baker.
I picked a franchise that gave me all the recipes and gave me steps 1 through whatever, so that I didn't have to learn the culinary side of baking. Okay, I learned that on the job now.
So do you wear like the chef hat?
No, not at all.
Okay, I'm kind of let down.
We have one, but I make other people wear it for me.
Because you know I'm doing a visual right now. Those of you who also might want to get a retake of this episode is also available on channel 808.tv here with Rasumita. But first we're gonna talk about baked goods for the first half of this show today. So, you know, it's very interesting to see where people go after their graduation. My brother in particular, he had intentions of becoming a doctor or a researcher, or actually going into medical research with a particular interest in genetics. Now, after Iolani, kind of tell us about the path you took.
Well, after Iolani, I did go to Loyola Marymount University, did 4 years there, and was influenced by Las Vegas. It was a 4.5-hour trip. But I really didn't get involved in business till a little bit after my senior year in college. My cousin Adam Wong had started Great Harvest Bread Company. Well, actually before that he started E808.com. And they wanted me to come home and, you know, help out along the way. And so I did come home and I started working for E808.com. There we did packaging, shipping, fulfilling, product placement on the web. And it was basically taking Hawaii businesses and putting them online and trying to get the locals in the universities throughout the mainland an opportunity to still get a piece of Hawaii, even though they're 2,500 plus miles away. From there, he spun off and started Great Harvest Bread Company. And I came in as the manager originally for the Kahala location. And in 2005, we expanded downtown. We opened a downtown location. And in 2008, I think it was, or 2007, we opened up 2 other locations in the Waimalu, as well as Enchanted Lakes, but the Waimalu has since shut down. But you know, that was the path, and I was able to take the ride with my cousin in everything from building a store from ground up, from market research and stuff, and it was very entertaining and exciting aspect to see that side of business, where all the prep work is needed to making sure that you'll be successful from the day you open your store to the public. And that's kind of the journey I've been on so far.
Wow, I remember, could you say, or could E808 claim that they were one of the first online presences for representing goods coming out of Hawaii?
I wouldn't be able to make that statement myself without knowing, but at the time it was relatively new. There was not many other websites out there that I could think of. We had lines like Hawaiian Style back in the day. We also did like sending out the crack seeds, the kakimochi. We put locomotion on, as well as developed the 808 brand itself up.
And how was that? Was the market ready for that?
I think it was a little too early. You know, every year it has grown stronger and stronger, but back then it was maybe a little bit early of its time. People still wary about paying for things online. You know, because that was what, 2000, around there, 2001. But at the same time, it was neat because we did try to push to a lot of the universities, Hawaii Club, supporting them, getting to know all of the different organizations throughout the different universities. And so it was there, but I don't think the kids had all the money in the world. So we probably, you know, looking back, we're targeting the wrong financial demographics to support us at the time.
Maybe the mom and dads.
The mom and dads, definitely. It probably should have been something that we marketed to them to say, give your kid a welcome package or a we miss you package. And
my kid, my money, and my lau goes to Loyola Marymount.
So.
And is E808 still around?
Actually, it was sold to, gosh, it was after I had left. David Kazama was running E808.com for a while, and I believe it was packaged together when he sold a clothing brand that was tied with E808. But I can't remember who purchased it.
That's really interesting because I know we're getting a little off track from Great Harvest, but just yesterday I was having a conversation with a formerly retired local businessman, Ricky Kurihara. You remember him, right, Sharon? Mm-hmm. From helping out with the ukulele festivals, having Elite Security LLC, and Ricky has. I'm gonna give him a shout out right now. Uncle Ricky's Hawaiian Grinds, I think in Oregon. His son goes there. He decided to open up a business, and I guess in a similar fashion to E808, more concentrated on the food side. They bring over menu rather than create their own. Mm-hmm. I know Keoki's Lau Lau, Hom's Kimchi, they focus more on the distribution locally, as well as they're starting to bring the brands out on a national scale. And it's kind of falling into that niche that I think 808 was trying to fill. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But let's go back to Great Harvest. So I would say it's a pretty storied background you have. You know, going to Iolani, then Loyola Marymount, and being one of the pioneers on online sales, and then taking over those skills into Great Harvest.
It's definitely was an easy transition, yet at the same time a completely different game. I guess you can put it, going from online, the strategies and techniques and the stuff, to basically having a brick and mortar store where there is a lot more overhead for you to run a business, but at the same time we were able to drive a lot more foot traffic to our stores easily versus the online market, and basically relying on click-throughs and those type of numbers to tell us if we're doing it right or wrong. But Great Harvest, it's an exciting. I enjoy it a lot. I do bake every now and then still.
So you are a baker.
I do. I know how to bake now. And your brother Paul, he's been trying to hit me up for some secrets. I know he dabbles in the baking bread.
You might want to help him. We don't want to go back to the paper wheat cornbread again.
Well, if he was here today, I had a whole bunch of tips for him.
Well, you're missing out, Paul. I hope you're enjoying the wedding right now. For the folks listening in, Great Harvest, is that a local chain, or?
It's actually a national franchise, but it's all of the ones here are locally owned and operated. We basically make fresh bread daily, sweets as well, scones, muffins, cookies. Our signature is our honey whole wheat. We make the wheat from mainland, the Golden Triangle is what they call, where the best region for growing wheat. And our wheat has a higher iron count, makes a much heavier quality flour, and you see it in the product when you taste like our honey whole wheats and all our other wheat products.
And where does that wheat come from?
It actually comes from the Golden Triangle of Montana, and so our franchise has been with basically about 4 family farms that have been with them for over 50 years, have been growing for them, and we've continued that line of local farmers supporting as well in Montana.
Okay, do the wheat people do like the potato chip commercials that say, you know, best potatoes come from California?
I did very little online searching, but there is what's called the Golden Triangle of where the environment, the ground, the weather produce the best quality wheat.
Okay, you know, we're gonna get back to this because this is one of one of those hidden secret things, just like Uhula the making, where it's a process of educating the customers out there what creates differences in your product. But we're gonna cut away to commercial. We'll be right back with Cheryl and Justin Walthall.